I believe we are ready to finish strong. Yesterday we agreed that if there's something the organizers of the conference did well was to save the best for the last. Are we agreeing? Are we agreeing that we are in the best session of this conference? So we are going to participate. Is that okay? Okay, let's okay. Kuna basi imejaa, kuna coach SGR iko empty kwa hii room. I think ni first class imejaa. Watu wa first class mpo? Hii ni first class coach. Watu wa first class tuko? First class is already booked. Okay, hii ni ile executive ile ya 14,000. Mko? Kuna ile ya 14,000. Yes. Watu wa hapa mko? Watu wa 14,000. Professor Lelo, you are there? Okay. Watu wa ile side. Okay. Fellow passengers mko? Sitaki kumention your coach. Anyway, I don't know. I wouldn't be very keen to interfere with your comfort and where you've chosen to sit. So I don't know. Is it okay to ask that we move, or we'll stay like that? It will be fine. My media guy says it's not very good for optics. So who should I listen to, the delegate or the media guy? The people shall. Anyway, no, ignore that. Ignore that. Yeah, I think in the next, because we should be out of this place, in the next 8 minutes at exactly 15:30, we are going to have the final part of this conference. And I believe, let me just take us up to speed. We only have 2 specific things to do. Number 1 is to get the conference resolution. And number 2, which climaxes our conference this year, is the launch of our climate change handbook. Okay? So it's not going to be a very long session. It's just the resolution and the launch. Then we'll have a chance to network, take photos, have a final cup of tea, and we'll consider this conference a success. Okay? So are we still going on? Is the one seated next to you the one who was next to you in the morning? Are they? Okay, if they're not the ones, or even if they are, I want you to remind them what we did in the morning or what we said in the morning, okay? Now talk to the gentleman or the lady to your left and to your right. And tell them, I don't know if you already know their name. If you know their name, it's okay. If you don't, just say my neighbor. Okay, see a church. Just tell them, wachana yo my neighbor. Kitaka kanisa. Let me redo this. Play. Just say, this session is going to be the best because I'm seated next to you. This session is going to be the best because I'm seated next to you. Yes, of course I go to church, but I'm not trying to make this church. I think if on those very many occasions you've talked to that person and you've not had the courage, the confidence, or the need to know who they are and just interact with them, then it's a problem beyond our fixing ability. Sindio? Okay? So, thank you. I hope we've interacted. I hope you know that person. And I believe better things should come out of this. The essence of the conference is not that to spend time here, but the space of networking and just able to engage is at the core of what we do at the Environment Institute of Kenya. All right? So, I don't know, Chair, we are ready, or we said in 6 minutes we should be able to kickstart the program. Is that okay? Okay. Oh, Chair is suggesting something. You can call your neighbor who is not yet back, whoever you sat next to, whoever you've networked with who is still around. Let us call them, help us to mobilize, guys. I know some have gone to the beach already, but let us call back those whom we can so that we can have this session. Okay. Once again, good afternoon. Yes, I believe it's exactly 15:30. That is 3:30 p.m. And I want us to just go straight to the afternoon session, the first part of it. And I want to believe we are all well and we are moving on well. So at this time, without much ado, allow me to invite Mr. Alex Mugambi, the chairperson, Environment Institute of Kenya, to give us the conflict resolution. Let us appreciate the chairman. Come on, let us appreciate the chairman. Karibu.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Afternoon again. Now, this is the chosen team. Noah had a sheep. Okay, that story will float. But in the Noah's Ark, put in all his people. Wale walikataa wakaachwa nje. Now other members are outside. This ship is not closed yet. They can join us along the way. Without much, I want to read out our conference resolution, and part of it, after I'm done with mine, we have we've cross-checked and uh, we cross-run this program with our parent ministry. They'll also be coming here and giving us the CES resolutions and closing remarks for the conference. So, members, we, the participants of this fourth edition of the Environment Institute of Kenya International Environmental Conference 2025, comprising of different government agencies, the academia, civil society, private sector, development partners, youth networks, and community-based organization, convened here at Mombasa Continental Resorts from 29th to 31st October 2025 to deliberate on the theme Green Transitions, Bold Actions, Accelerating Africa Climate Agenda, guided by our shared commitment to environmental stewardship, sustainable development, and intergenerational equity, and acknowledging the urgency of coordinated climate action as the world and environmental experts approach COP30 in Belém, Brazil, we hereby adopt the following resolutions as our collective call to action. The conference recognizes the escalating impact of climate change across Africa and reaffirms that equitable access to climate finance is fundamental to effective and inclusive action. We the delegates underscored the need for financing mechanisms that enable direct access for local governments, community organizations, women, youth, and indigenous groups. Transparent, predictable, and simplified processes should be prioritized to strengthen local capacities and ensure accountability. Adaptation finance must take precedence also to support locally led solutions, addressing community priorities and vulnerabilities. The conference resolves that Africa's green transition must be just, inclusive, and transformative. The shift to a low carbon economy should generate equitable opportunities, safeguard livelihoods, and promote decent work, ensuring no community is left behind. Green investments and policy reforms must promote social inclusion, particularly for women, youth, persons with disabilities, while aligning with national and regional climate commitments. Delegates, we have also emphasized the importance of strong climate governance at all levels. All levels of government. We are urging to strengthen the legislations, coordination frameworks, and institutional capacities so that we enhance accountability, transparency, and policy coherence. Climate governance must remain participatory, integrating scientific evidence with community voices and critically indigenous knowledge to ensure context driven and effective implementation. Recognizing that climate change demands shared responsibility, the conference calls for robust multi-stakeholder partnership involving governments, the private sector, academia, civil society, and development partners. These partnerships should promote innovation, blended financing, and investments in green enterprises guided by principles of environmental integrity and social accountability. The conference acknowledges the crucial role of indigenous knowledge and cultural stewardship in sustaining ecosystems and resilience. Participants resolve that indigenous systems should be recognized, documented, protected, and ethically integrated into climate action with fair benefit sharing mechanisms to reward local custodians of traditional knowledge. Delegates reaffirmed the importance of community-led adaptation and resilience while emphasizing the need to scale up grassroots initiatives in water security, sustainable agriculture, and nature-based solutions. Women and youth have been recognized as key actors in driving innovation and must be supported through enabling policy access to finance. Amid growing water scarcity and urban vulnerability, the conference resolves to strengthen integrated water resource management and urban resilience, calling for increased investment in sustainable water infrastructure, watershed protection, and inclusive governance systems. The conference further emphasizes that carbon market activities must operate under transparent, fair, and accountable frameworks that ensure equitable benefit sharing with communities whose land host carbon projects. Recognizing that knowledge is central to progress, delegates, partners, and the Environment Institute of Kenya calls for advancement of research, innovations, and knowledge exchange through collaborations amongst our research institutions, the policymakers, and the communities, establishing innovation hubs and learning platforms has been encouraged to promote evidence-based inclusive climate action. Looking ahead to COP30 in Belém, Brazil, the conference resolves that Africa must speak with an unified and justice-centered voice on these four key pillars: fair and predictable climate finance, operationalized loss and damage fund, equitable technology transfer and capacity building, recognition of Africa's leadership in resilience and innovation. In conclusion, we, the participants of this fourth edition of the EIK Conference 25, reaffirm our collective determination to transform these resolutions into tangible actions. We commit to sustained collaborations, advocacy, knowledge exchange, and mutual accountability in advancing a greener, resilient, and climate secure Africa. We adopt this in Mombasa on this date, on this day, that is the 31st of October 2025. Now I'll invite the State Department of, no, the Ministry of Environment rep to give us the remarks of the CS as
Good afternoon. Good afternoon again. I'm here on behalf of Principal Secretary, that is Engineer Festus Ngeno, who is the Principal Secretary for State Department for Environment and Climate Change, in the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry. My name is Dominic Mumbu. I'm Deputy Director in Policy, Regulations, and Research. And our peers could not be with you here because is out of the country on an official engagement, but I have his speech, and we will go direct to what he has written for all of us. The Environment Institute of Kenya, government representatives, environmental practitioners, members of the academia, civil society, and all other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, receive much greetings. It is my honor as the Principal Secretary in the State Department for Environment and Climate Change to join you today in this very important workshop as we prepare to attend and participate in the Conference of Parties, that is COP30, scheduled to be held in Brazil between 10th to 21st November this year. This conference is timely as it builds on global climate actions to be discussed. I begin by giving my sincere appreciation to the EIK and all other partners who organized and supported this conference. I am glad that this conference has not only provided platform for interdisciplinary dialogue among all participants, but has also provided an opportunity to network and foster partnerships for climate action. State Department for Environment and Climate Change is a subsector under environmental protection, water, and natural resource sector. And this subsector is the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry. And we are responsible for ensuring this national environment policy, protection and conservation of the natural environment, climate action, pollution control, watershed and wetland conservation, and also provide meteorological services. This subsector is further responsible for providing policy guidance, capacity building, resource mobilization, coordination, and oversight to a suite of statutory institutions, namely National Environment Management Authority, National Environment Trust Fund, and I know we have been able to see that EIK works closely with the NEMA and the NET Fund. In addition, the subsector has 3 other agencies, namely National Environmental Complaints Committee, National Environment Tribunal, and the National Climate Change Council. And again, we are happy to see EIK being an institute of professionals is part of this big family. Kenya Meteorological Department is also a key department in the subsector, for it provides relevant weather and climate information for use by all other sectors. For sustainable environmental governance, policy reforms are very critical, and this has been emphasized by various speakers. In this regard, some of the policies we have prioritized in our sector are the review of the National Environment Policy 2013 to align to the emerging issues, develop national chemical policy, develop circular economy policy, and we shall be writing to you and inviting you so that we can be able to participate as we review and develop these policy documents. We would request EIK members who are here and other partners to help in the implementation of the National Climate Change Action Plan 3, which is running from 2023 up to 2027, the Climate Change Carbon Markets Regulations 2024, and the Sustainable Waste Management Act 2022 in creating green jobs for wealth creation and also sustainable development. As I close, I want to state that we are ready to partner with all actors in supporting the implementation of medium-term plan 4 of the Kenya Vision 2030, which focuses on a bottom-up economic transformation agenda, that is Data Manifesto, for inclusive growth and prosperity. Let us all work together to build around that a body's dialogue, inclusivity, synergy building, and partnerships for enhanced service delivery. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we appreciate that. Madam Purity, over to you. Mr. Purity.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. And I'm here once again. My name is Dr. Purity Muthoni. I serve in the Environmental Institute of Kenya as a board member. And my docket is Partnership, Education, and Communication. I have been serving there for the last 4 years. And so far, so good. I have a very brief assignment here. And I'm sure it will be done in less than 5 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to really take you through a brief introduction of what we are about to do, and just mention to you that early this year, in the month of February, we decided to challenge ourselves as an institute, and we mounted an inaugural course, a course on climate change and carbon markets. So that was going to be very ambitious. It was our first, and we gave ourselves target, or rather to look for the best of the best in terms of training. So the course was running for 3 months, for 3 weeks. So we would meet every day in the evening between 4:30 to 6:30. And we had a very good attendance of around 120 registered participants. So for me, that was a great success to have such participants in a training. So what followed is that our trainers kept challenging us concerning the knowledge gaps that exist in the area of climate change, particularly in the foundational level. They say this is a space that has been left to experts. This is a space that has been left to jargons, and many people who are not in an environmental related field have been left or rather have been marginalized. And it felt like policymakers were missing out on something. They were missing out on insights of accountants, insights of engineers, because they felt they do not belong. They felt they did not have the basic knowledge on climate change to be able to contribute to policy. So we challenged ourselves to start on a journey. And I must say that our trainers were very instrumental, because they kept mentioning that EIK should be on the forefront to be able to package something for non-environmentalists. So with the guidance of our chair, we took it up, and we decided that amongst those who have been trained, we were going to challenge ourselves to do a book. It was complex. So all those people who are in the room and you have embarked on this journey, you have written a paper, you have written a book, you know how complex it can be to do it by yourself as one person. So you can imagine we are 120 participants taking on a challenge to write. We have no idea of where to start, how to group ourselves, and really it was one of those things that we thought would just flop. But there was something interesting about the participants who attended this course, very positive. They said, let's not discuss about the logistics of even how we are going to share the money. Let's first do it. Let's see the product, so that we believe in ourselves that we can actually do it, and then we talk about the legals. And that's how we began. And we said, okay, for those we are done with the course, we have done an assignment and an exam, and we have passed. And so for those who are interested, we will remain behind. And we will group ourselves and we will take on chapters. So whichever area that was taught by our trainers and you're very comfortable writing something basic on it, so that is the group that you will take on. And the students did it. And they wrote and they wrote. And the reviewers came. And the reviewers reviewed and reviewed and reviewed. And definitely we had dropouts. We had significant numbers dropping out. And then the groups became very cohesive. And there were a lot of back and forth and exchanges in the group. This one is letting us down, this one has not written, this one, can you address this one? And really became a very interesting journey up to the point we are at. So I want to announce to us that we successfully made it to publish our first edition of a climate change handbook. So my deepest appreciation to our chair, who has kept the bar very high for the Institute. He has always mentioned that we don't have to do things the same way over and over. That those trainings don't have to be just a mere class attendance, lecture-based trainings. What is the product? And what are you doing beyond the training? So we really want to appreciate the chair for his leadership. And I also want to appreciate the trainers who are very consistent in challenging us concerning our role as environmentalists in these matters of knowledge dissemination. So appreciation to our reviewers, deepest appreciation to the editorial team, most importantly, deepest appreciation to our proofreader who had to burn the midnight oil because most of us submitted the work beyond the set deadlines. So he had to really compensate for that. So I really want to appreciate Isaac Mwangi. Can we just stand and wave? He's here with us. Thank you for the good job, and we also want to appreciate the publisher most. Yes, he mentioned he's a teacher at Mweki Secondary School and doing great things there. And he has won several awards in matters environment. But we must also, he's greening Nairobi. But what he hasn't mentioned is his background. Isaac is in English and literature. So yeah, he mentioned out at Chinyamnazi. So really much of a challenge to us. So most importantly, I want to appreciate the authors, and at this point, I want to just acknowledge the authors of chapter 1. Kindly just stand and wave. Good job, Chair. Authors of chapter 2. Chapter 2, authors. Very good. Magdalene and Tim and Kitonga and Tim, good job. Authors of chapter 3. Our own Prof. Good job, good job. Chapter 4, authors. Well done, well done. And chapter 5, authors. And great, great, great. It is not. So cameraman to the cameraman. Okay. So that's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. Edwin, that was your chapter. Chapter 5. Good job, good job. Chapter 6. Chapter 6, very good. Chapter 7. Good job, Nagea and team. Chapter, is that 7? Okay, chapter 8. Very good job, chapter 8. And chapter 9. Good job, Prof. Good job. And chapter 10. Chapter 10. I think I was there in chapter 10. Chapter 11. Very good. Team, very good. We're really proud of you, Taraka. Good job to the Daraka team. And finally, chapter 12. Chapter 12, that was Yvonne Nyokabi from UNDP and Professor Stanley Omuterema from Masinde Muliro. He was here, I think he must have left. So this is the able, good team that did a proper job to start us off, and I'm sure we'll do many more. Good job on that. So I wish to welcome our Professor Emeritus to come and take us to the next level.
One of the writers, so you should also clap for them first. Tafadhali. Yeah. There are more ladies there than men. Exchange a bit to allow balance. Let me say this. But the powers for the time being bestowed on me on the launch of this book that has taken a lot of people to write, I do really appreciate their work and do wish that those who take it read it. And with all those powers, I'd now like to launch this particular book. It's not going up. It's not going up. Yes, please. Really, I again say really, having really gone through the write-ups of a book, and I've done about one on East Africa, the other one 300-page done by Carnegie Corporation on education in the African continent, the other one my own autobiography that you have today, and then the other one, the one you just took today, and there is a one I wrote when I was a weed work, research on East African weeds, with the actual pictures into it, and there is only about 3 copies left since 1984 by FAO. It is not a walk in the ocean. You sit down, knit, enjoy writing, love writing, feel good, and that is your legacy as now this particular team. Honestly, in all sincerity, and having been a chancellor of Tharaka University, you guys, should write books, internet, cloud, in the cloud, and many of them can really go on platform. Don't stop it at any level, because write, let fools not read. Write, let others who love to read, read. Don't waste any minute, even if they don't sell anywhere. You're right. It's a posterity in your own lives, and I really give this. I wish I was looking. If there were 6, I would have offered each 2,000 shillings. Now there are so many, I can't offer them anything. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. But you should have seen. Hey, now you should have these books together, one, and then we stand as a team, one each, kimoja kimoja. I hope, I wish I were here. You know, I've already written a topic for the next one you do. I've written my topic on etiquette on environmental stewardship. Naomba nami mmoja kidogo. Sasa wewe come up. We stand like a belly like this. And I do hope that the ministry, the big Ministry of Environment, really, our ministry, the mother ministry, please appreciate what we do. I used to publish what is called the State of Environment. 2 or 3, 4 of them. You guys believe me not. I told Amos Work one time that you are not really being what in Parliament. They didn't table that document for all the time. Even in Michuki, I told Michuki, why don't you table this? My friend Kuludu, why don't you table this? My friend Kalonso, why can't you table this? My friend Kibuana, why don't you table this? We were writing those books in futility. I mean in futility because it showed every constituency had an issue. They didn't do that kind of work. And I feel cheated having written that book, those nice, beautiful books. So read. If you don't read, give it to your children to read. If they can't read, give it to the street children to read. They shall read. Thank you. Now, can I hand over this to you?
Okay, let us just appreciate this team once again. Okay, we'll just pause for a photo, then we should end that process. Cameraman, unatuguide, eh? Thank you, thank you. Let us appreciate the authors one more time.
And I think, for fairness, for those who are in universities, really, for fairness, those in universities, I would appeal that if you have extra copies and they're here, send to their vice chancellors and write a covering letter telling them, well, explain what expired nicely, that the following gentleman, if it is Mwangi Taraka, what's your name? If it is John Kiplangat, said that John Kiplangat was engaged in writing such a document, and we really appreciate his putting time. Then they feel good. That's part of the promotion they did.
Okay. Once again, as they sit down, let us appreciate the authors. Yes. This book was forwarded by Professor Emeritus himself. Professor. Yes. All right. Again, let us confirm. Okay. Okay. Once again, let us appreciate the authors. Let us in a very big way appreciate Dr. Purity for that great work. Let us appreciate her again for putting up the launch. What is wonderful. Okay, it was amazing. And Professor Emeritus is the one who forwarded the book. Amen. The book is in, okay, the book is in his name, eh? Okay. Professor, I've called you Emeritus 5 times, and I've been very intentional because you mentioned coffee earlier when you said if you are called Emeritus, I have earned it, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the very end of this conference. You only have one more thing. Someone, Dr. Purity, I don't know about the handbooks. They'll be distributed. There is a formula, I want to believe. And until next time, I believe that was all. There will be a feedback link that will be shared to us. Kindly give us that honest feedback. We want to know what we can do right. We want to see you again, but we want to be better. It is only unfair if we meet again and we are not better than we are. I want to believe this is the lowest we can ever be. And for us to go better, we also need your input. Is that okay? So thank you so much. Have a wonderful travel. Have a nice time. Those who are still in Mombasa. And till next time, God bless you. Thank you.
I think for me, these gentlemen who are in place in the office, really, no matter what we say, no matter what we do, and deep down in our hearts, we know these guys are working. All of you. The office, the secretariat, a chairperson, really. And I mean sincerely, there is a time he would call me, tell me, Prof, come to a place called Hilton near the airport to handle parliamentarians. And these gentlemen mean deep in their hearts. Kindly give them the heartiest of claps. Really. You have a young team. You have a young team of enough energy. This young lady here calls. Occasionally she does not take phones, and I take offense. I call her, tell her, what do we do? She takes 2 days to call, by which time I'm in another plane. My chair. This man answers phones and replies within the shortest time possible. All of you guys, may you really lead us. You know, we are getting old. Don't think we are still the way we were. Time are, complicated. Thank you so much. And I wish you happiness in all you do. This man is great. And I gave him a ride back to Nairobi. After, I gave you a lift, right? Yeah. So that,
Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much. And it was amazing. Ama tuanze tena. Okay, DJ, just sort us, interact. We thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm advised that let the authors come to the front. The handbook authors, kindly let us meet here briefly, even as the rest disperse.